Gucci Mane snitching. Ow.
Gucci Mane is so cooked. He's trying to save himself, but it's too late.
Why not?
So we all know Gucci Mane he snitched on Pooh Shiesty. He told the police officers that Pooh Shiesty robbed him, put a gun to his head, and made him sign a contract.
As he should have, in my personal opinion.
To identify that Big 30 and other people were present. He gave the law enforcement officers Pooh Shiesty's real name, how to find Pooh Shiesty's Instagram. He did all that telling that night that the incident happened. Gucci must have thought he was telling in secret and he was just identifying Pooh Shiesty and he was doing some snitching that was off the record. But
right, that's how you do it.
No, it's not how you do
whisper.
it. No, son, like you said, if you're a civilian, he ain't in the game. He ain't in the streets.
I know.
I'm going to tell you the nigga address. I know exactly. If you go down there right now, I'm going to tell you what.
You be in the police car.
Like it right there. See the green door? Yo,
is that Gucci Mane? You see his teeth and shit.
The feds put it on the record. The feds put him on blast in their paperwork and let the world know that Gucci Mane identified Big 30 Pooh Shiesty and everybody present, and he gave information in terms of his robbery and his kidnapping that they're charging Pooh Shiesty with. Well, ever since the feds exposed him, Gucci Mane has been trying to save face. Right, he's been coming forward, like letting the world know, hey man, I'm not cooperating, I'm not gonna cooperate, but it's literally too late.
Pooh Shiesty update. I'm gonna play the clip. The clip puts to bed any idea that Pooh is cooked. You're gonna hear Big 30's lawyer talking about Gucci's plans on testifying. For good measure, the reporter from a respected news outlet out in Texas saying the FBI hasn't exactly heard from Gucci. Check this out.
Interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
That's 30.
He was there. Right. Just from that photo right there, he was there.
Yeah, Don Trellius.
Right,
it is
whatever.
worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy?
If Gucci does not testify, the question of is Pooh cooked comes down to 2 paragraphs in the complaint plus 1 picture. I'll show them to you and walk you through it. What's very interesting about the picture is this is not like what you might imagine the recording studio looks like, with a couch, a bunch of buttons and boards, a glass plate, and then boom, the recording area directly in front of you. It looks like the recording area is somewhat off to the side, completely enclosed. It is not at all clear that anybody in the control room could actually see into the studio. And it's definitely clear that there could be people in parts of the control room who would not be able to see into the recording area at all.
I even know that Gucci Mane has been paying blogs to repost Big 30's lawyer saying that Gucci Mane is not going to cooperate with the feds. Gucci Mane is
he's trying to protect his street credibility.
Really concerned with his public reputation. He's really concerned with how people is viewing him, and he don't want to be viewed as a rat. I think when you thought it was off the record, but then once they put it on the record, you all of a sudden don't want to speak to the police no more, and you shy. But Pooh Shiesty lawyer came and spoke to the public, and he essentially put Gucci Mane on blast, right? He revealed that, again, RD, aka Gucci Mane, 100% gave a statement to law enforcement officials the night that the incident happened. He didn't even wait a day. He gave a statement that night. And that Gucci Mane is 100% scheduled to testify against Pooh. Well, not testify, but he's already scheduled to meet with the FBI again and give a statement according to the FBI in court.
C-O-H-E-N, Saul Zegane, and John Helms.
And any question, just look straight in the middle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we had a bond hearing today and a PC hearing today. I think that the relevant things that were said today that I thought were fascinating were that it took 3 months to build a case. And I think the reason for that was because the statements that were given on the evening that this occurred were very questionable. I think the way that the statements were made, what was made, what allegedly was witnessed and what wasn't witnessed, I think gave great pause to the FBI. The FBI doesn't take 3 months to arrest someone if they believe everything that was said on the night that it occurred. They were involved the first night, and then nothing happened for 3 months. In addition to that, that I thought was quite embarrassing, was that an FBI agent says they don't have the resources to keep their eye on an individual. This is allegedly an individual that committed a crime that they then didn't watch to see if the guns were present, if the jewelry was present, And what didn't we hear today? What we didn't hear today is there is no contract, this mystery contract. They have no contract. They have no video of this alleged signing of a contract. They have no guns. They have no jewelry. They have none of that physical evidence. What they have is they have allegedly 5 individuals, one of them being very well known.
So this whole thing was an elaborate scheme. This whole thing was a lie.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nobody has anything.
Nothing. Gucci Mane they just made this up. The people who was with his entourage, Gucci Mane's people who was with him, they just made it up, man.
They made it up. Gucci never said nothing. None of this never happened. Why is Pooh Shiesty even in jail?
Right.
He was home in Memphis chilling.
Right.
Individual that is allegedly cooperating with the government and making these allegations against my client and many more.
Y'all know my rule, man. If Pooh Shiesty did this, lock him up and throw away the keys. I have no remorse. But I do think it's disingenuous and dishonest and kind of really absurd that Gucci Mane is the sole reason why Pooh Shiesty was indicted. If Gucci Mane didn't talk to law enforcement officials, if he didn't tell, that night, Pooh Shiesty wouldn't have gotten indicted. They don't have anything on Pooh Shiesty. They have no video footage. They have no weapon. They have nothing. All they had was Gucci Mane's word this happened, and they arrested by Pooh Shiesty. So you can't single-handedly get somebody an indictment and then put out PR about how, we're not working with the feds. Bro, it's too late. You already work with the feds. You already got this man an indictment. He's already under federal indictment because of you. Right? Because of you. And the lawyer kind of went into this, and then towards the end, he kind of broke down how, the feds are saying, like, Gucci Mane plans on cooperating. The feds are saying they got a date already scheduled where they're meeting up with Gucci Mane for him to tell them more about this information.
And she just go ahead and stop trying to be a gangster. You're not a gangster.
Mm-hmm. Any longer. Whatever you did in your past is in your past. If you truly want to move on, this is a test. Mm-hmm.
This is a test of your commitment to your new life. Your commitment to your mental health, your commitment to being a businessman and no longer a street person. And to show younger people and younger artists that the street life is over, is dead.
It's dead. It's not cool.
Yeah, that's how I personally feel. Now, what I feel like these lawyers are doing is trying to put pressure on Gucci Mane. Like, you ain't gonna snitch, is you?
Right.
I know you ain't gonna go out like a little bitch.
Right. This is a PR move.
Yeah, that's what they doing.
Yes.
He said he ain't snitched, right? You ain't snitched, did you?
Right.
Did you, Gucci Mane?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then and their lawyers speak.
Son, my take on it is Gucci Mane at 46 years old. I can only speak for self. If I am
my age,
this brother pushing 50 years old. He's a legitimate businessman at this point.
Grown man.
If one of my employees robbed me, it's not for me as being a legitimate business. It's not for me to, I'm taking it to the streets. I'm going to do this to him. I'm going to do this to his family. That's what law enforcement is for. That's their job.
Right. What do you pay taxes
for? What do you pay taxes for? So with that being said, it's not about him. Yes, he ain't snitching. It's what it is. And then again, he got other co-defendants. It's other people that's involved in it. They keep mentioning Gucci Mane. They said it was, how many other people was in there with him?
So 5 or whatever. We don't know the exact number, but yeah.
So they snitching too? If I'm in the mix and I don't have nothing, look, man, I don't have nothing to do with that. What they come in here and stick me up, put guns in my face for?
The criminal code only protects criminals.
Man, you can keep it, man.
Period. And I think Gucci, and see, this comes back to the content of the music. Don't pretend like what you're not trying to pretend you're the real thing.
Right. Well, we already know that hip hop and all that is make believe.
Yeah,
it's pretend.
But the effort is to try to make people believe you're the real thing.
From the streets.
Yeah.
We go hard.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it attracts people that are the real thing. That's why drill music took over gangster rap, because gangster rap was pretend. Yeah. Drill music is the little boys really look.
They really want the smoke, right?
And not saying Gucci wasn't involved in stuff, but the goal. Put it like this: the goal back then was to get out of the hood, get out of that mentality, to try to. I'm out here right now, but I'm putting it together so I can be a legit business person.
Yes, sir. Life is about progression,
right? This little thing with Pooh Shiesty, and I know put it like this. I don't know. In my opinion, of course he did this. Of course he did. Not only, this is how we know he did this. The streets knew when it happened.
We got one better.
People were dropping video the night it happened. People were dropping video. They were showing the jewelry and stuff off online.
They were. They had video footage of Pooh Shiesty and his father at a Staples drawing up a makeshift contract for him to
something. They don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. Pardon me.
They just have
allegedly
Staples.
Right. On the way.
Move out of town.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Two questions and then we're going to scoop.
You're essentially arguing they've got only a he said kind of case, no evidence.
Correct. Yeah, it's very fair. I think that this is a he said type of a case. I mean, obviously, there's 5 individuals on one side. What we're missing are the other people that were present in the room, right? The owner of the studio who says he didn't hear anything or see anything. The way they leave the studio, where no one is in concert with anybody else, no one's arguing with anyone else.
They split out. They fanned out with their Shiesty mask on.
One of the individuals says, "Hey, can I get my watches back?" Like, the story is quite unusual. And I think that the FBI knew that. I think the investigators knew that it was unusual. And I think that's why it took so long to make the arrest. My main thrust of today was to really push on the evidence and see exactly what they had and when they had. How about this? How about the individual who wrote the complaint, who actually drafted the complaint, who was sitting in the courtroom, who's only been an FBI agent for 4 years, does not take the stand. They put someone else on to say what she wrote in her own complaint when she's sitting in the...
Check out this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
in the courtroom. And that's done quite often in gamesmanship, because they don't want to put a rookie on the stand and be measured by our legal team.
How far away is this from trial?
Oh, who knows? You know, we're going to get discovery. We'll take a look at their discovery. They're going to say it's ongoing. I mean, think about it. They had 3 months to get this stuff. They had 3 months to get warrants. They didn't get warrants that night. They didn't get warrants the next night. They didn't get warrants the next month. They didn't get warrants the month after. They waited 3 months to get...
This the feds. If anybody's familiar with the feds, we're not talking about the state. We're not talking about in-town law enforcement. We're talking about the feds. When they come, they got something.
Yeah, they generally got it right.
Yeah, they're building a case. The feds don't just jump on you the same night. Nah, they building a case. So it's something there.
Yeah.
Just because they ain't mentioned it yet. I mean, this is attorney speaking, but that don't mean they not building a case. And when they do, hey, baby, it's what it is.
We'll see how that hammer. At very least, he definitely crossed state lines.
No doubt. With the ankle monitor on.
Right, with the ankle monitor on.
Warrants on whether or not there's guns, whether or not there's jewelry. How about their cell phones? How about the computers? That gives me great pause when I see a case that takes that long to get warrants, if you believe everything that was said on the evening that it occurred.
So can you tell me
let me take one from her because she was talking last night.
Can you say anything about the identity of RD, and then you also spoke about a social media post he had made?
Correct. So, listen, I don't like when the government puts initials in and everyone takes a guess who they are. We all know who they are, right? I'm not going to say it's this person or that person. That's not my job to do. But certainly there have been media posts of individuals that we suspect were involved in that evening where they're denying that it occurred, or they're denying that they're giving statements to the government. I think that's unusual as well, because of what the government put forward today seems to negate those statements, but we'll have to see how this all shakes out.
Pooh Shiesty is coming home, man. This reminds me of the Young Thug case, and it's really similar. How the feds, well, not the feds, but the state got Young Thug for this RICO under the testimony of YSL Woody. But then when YSL Woody came to court, he changed up his entire statements and testimony and told them folks he lied about everything on Young Thug. He lied about Young Thug, and that got Young Thug free. Well, Young Thug didn't beat the case. He pled guilty, but they was forced to give him a plea deal because of that. In the case of Gucci Mane, Pooh Shiesty is coming home because everybody else who was in the like in the studio when it happens, they didn't have access to the control room. The control room is closed off. You can't see in the control room. So because nobody else could see in the control room, only Gucci could see. Well, Gucci was the only one who could testify. And the feds was under the understanding that Gucci Mane was willing to work because he was talking and giving statements the night it happened. But when they went public and the public put pressure on Gucci Mane, all of a sudden he want to keep it gangster and he ain't got nothing to say. Too late.
He punked it out.
He a sucker for that. If that is true,
scared to look, you shook.
You sucker for that, man.
Is it because there ain't no such thing as halfway crook?
And it's already, like you said, if he made statements, verbal or written, that's documented. We gonna just retract it? Like, nah, man, that ain't what happened. So now he gonna have to lie under oath.
He gonna do a Woody. I did not recall.
That wouldn't be wise, but hey.
He halfway snitched.
Now, here's where Pooh Shiesty's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, he then reveals the Fed said in court today, they got a date scheduled with not only Gucci Mane, but with everybody who was present that day to give statements and hear from him. And those statements will be used against Pooh Shiesty in court.
Guys, Sam and I have had many, many cases together, right? We just finished a case a couple of years ago in San Francisco on the Cash App murder case. And whenever I talk to individuals, whenever I talk to the media, I always say, this is not a straight road. It's always a very winding road. So we never know where things are going to take us. We got to look at the evidence as it comes in, and we'll see what's there. I'm just shocked that, when they say there might be video out there, they don't have it. There might be this mystery contract, they don't have it. Oh, they were at Staples, making.
What if Pooh Shiesty came to Gucci and was like, look, man, I apologize, man, I was wrong. Look, hey, I don't want to go back to the penitentiary. I know this a fair beef. They'll smash me, man. Look, I'll give you $20 million, or I'll give you whatever proceeds come off of my album sales or whatever I do. I'll give you 90% of it, man. Please drop the charges. Tell your people to drop the charges. I don't want no parts of it, man. Please, can you just cop a deuce for me? And Gucci Mane say, as being his artist, being Gucci Mane's artist, if he say, you know what, all right, man, I understand. I don't want to see the brother go to jail. That might be, he might cop the deuce like that, or this what it is.
Picture that nigga saying something like that.
Who? Pooh Shiesty? Who knows?
He dumb enough to do this. He dumb enough to already be a millionaire and rob somebody for sneakers.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be real.
I'm trying, man. I don't know.
It's just a total guess. So, they won't have it. There might be this mystery contract. They don't have it. Oh, they were at Staples, making copies. It's just a total guess. So, we're not here to guess. I'm here to look at the evidence, to weigh the evidence, and to make the best decision based on that evidence.
Your client just stays in detention until what?
Yeah, currently he'll stay in detention. We'll get discovery. We'll start going through that. There's going to be several motions that we're going to file, obviously, in the next couple of weeks, but that'll all come out. We'll get copies.
So did the feds even interview any of the people? Did the feds even interview any of the people yet? Any of the alleged victims?
So my understanding is the FBI has, over the past 3 or 4 months, has interviewed none of the alleged victims, and allegedly they all have future dates to give statements. But I have no idea if that's true. We're basing it on what the agent said on the stand, that each one of those witnesses from that evening is going to appear and give a statement to the federal authorities.
So RD never made a statement as of now?
Not to the FBI, but that evening it appears from the material that they produced and from the agent's testimony is that RD gave a statement that evening, but since that evening has not given another statement. But the FBI said in the future they're all scheduled to give statements, so we'll have to see.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think Gucci Mane might F around and get himself some type of obstruction charge, right? Because if you're somebody who has already cooperated at some point, you already have given information at some point, can't the feds subpoena you to come and say the same thing you told them, on the stand? Or you at least got to come and say, yo, I plead the fifth. Or, right? The feds can make you come and give a statement
absolutely.
and testify if you've already been engaged with them and working with them and giving statements to them. So, this is going to catch Gucci Mane, I think, an obstruction charge or something, man. But either way, I don't think this is going to work. I think when we look back at this case and at this trial, we're going to think about Gucci Mane like giving Pooh Shiesty an indictment. We're not going to say, oh, my God, Gucci, you only told the law enforcement officials, but then when the feds got involved, you didn't speak. Man, nobody is going to remember. People will remember you getting Pooh Shiesty an indictment. All that, I don't want to take the statement
No.
too late, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section. What do you
People gonna remember Pooh Shiesty went and put a gun on this man.
Yeah,
and tried to rob him.
Regardless, no matter how.
Come on, man. They ain't Gucci Mane did nothing.
Well, people who feel that way will feel that way. The idiots who glamorize street life, yeah,
all right,
they gonna feel like that. But you know, in those people's point of view, it's all snitching. If you talk to the police for any reason,
right, they're snitching.
You know, protect the criminals.
Yeah, we know the type.
Anyway, next story. Mic check.
1, 2.
All right.